Good afternoon, everyone. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the resource speaker that will give us a talk to help us to equip ourselves as future tourism and hospitality professionals. He was born and raised in the heart of the Philippines, the island province of Marinduque. He graduated from Marinduque State College with a Bachelor of Science degree in Tourism Management in 2018 and took Master in Management, major in International Tourism and Hospitality Management at Philippine Christian University, Malate, Manila in 2022. He was an Officer of the Month for March 2021 as a Tourism Operations Assistant at the Department of Tourism, Airport Reception and Information Unit in Inay Aquino International Airport and is currently a tourist receptionist in DOT Frontline Service Unit in NAIA, assisting in the IATF subtask group at NAIA, in the management of returning overseas Filipinos, and also assisted in the Philippines hosting the 21st World Travel and Tourism 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Mr. Gilbert P. Privado.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Privado.
Good afternoon po. Let me share my screen. Okay, so naririnig po ako.
Yes po, sir. Clear po.
Ayan, so i-reintroduce ko lang ulit yung ano kasi nasama sa PowerPoint. So, under the Department of Tourism, I was also a part-time instructor for ground transportation at Canadian Tourism and Hospitality Institute and also a licensed financial consultant of ProLife UK. So, ayun. So, yun na lang muna for the introduction. So, as I've mentioned, under the National Capital Region, and the unit is Tourism Frontline Service. So, let's first discuss the duties and responsibilities of being a tourist receptionist. So, number one, so meet tourists, VIPs, and official guests at the premier airport and pier and send them off upon departure. So, bale, dalawa ang sakop namin. The first one is na iyaw. And then the second one is it's in war if I'm taken because as of now, wala pang dumadaong na cruise ship. So, hindi pa ulit kami nakakapagman ng counter sa loob ng cruise ship. So, dito sa meet tourists and VIPs, nanggagaling yung mga ina-assist namin na VIPs. Sometimes it's from the department and then sometimes it's from private entities. From the accredited travel agencies and accredited hotels. Destination so and that NAIA terminal we're in we are manning that because of course the foreigners which are it is especially if they
Sir, permission to speak po. Medyo may traffic
if it is their first time here, or Manila. Yes po. Ay, choppy ba? Sige, for a while. Hello? Hello? Okay na ulit?
Okay na po, sir. Much better po.
Okay, so start ulit tayo sa number 1. So, if choppy kanina. So, start number 1 ulit. Meet tourists, VIPs, and official guests at the premier ports composed of the airport and the pier. And then send them off upon departure. Number 2, provide assistance in tourist information dissemination and respond to inquiries on accommodation, transportation, and destinations. So as I've mentioned earlier, we have two counters, information counters at NAIA Terminal 1 and at NAIA Terminal 3. So for the first time traveler here in the Philippines, they will be asking for recommended itineraries or destinations that they can visit here in Philippines, especially in Manila, if they are just staying for only 2 to 3 days. So for example, if foreign tourists will be asking me in the tourist information counter for my recommendation, so I will recommend first the Intramuros because it is the all-in-one destination in Manila because we have that the history, and then we also have that the restaurants there and different activities that they can do. So number 3, provide assistance in coordination activities with various government offices and private entities for projects concerning visitor assistance and services. So as a tourist receptionist, we are also conducting seminars and workshops, especially the stakeholders of Ninoy Aquino International Airport. So it is composed of the security screening officers under the Department of Transportation, the public relations assistant under MIAA, the Bureau of Immigration, and then the ABSE group or the Aviation Security Group, it is under the Philippine National Police. So yun lang po yung ibang mga kinakandak namin pa seminar. So anong seminar po ba yung kinakandak namin? It is the Filipino Brand of Service Excellence Seminar. And then ang speaker din po doon is duly accredited by the department. So number 4, act as officer of the month. So ano ba ang trabaho as officer of the month? During pandemic, almost 6 months na hindi ako napalitan as officer of the month. Medyo mahirap kasi yung task kapag officer of the month ka kasi if ever wala yung head of the unit, you will be the next in line na magmamanage ng office and ng operation. So number 5, ensure all requests for flight assistance are coordinated, facilitated, and properly endorsed to requesting parties. So kapag for arrival assistance ng VIPs, so of course susunduin namin siya sa upon disembarkation at the aircraft. So that will be in the arrival concourse area, and then we will guide them throughout the process of arrivals at NAIA Terminals 1, 2, 3, and 4. So bihira lang kaming mag-duty sa Terminal 4 since it is a domestic airport. Usually, ang ina-assist lang namin is sa Terminal 4 is officials like si Secretary Puyat, USEC, and ASEC. And then of course, sometimes yung may mga pre-tour kapag nagkaroon ng international event. So, yun. So number 6, monitor flight schedules, advisories, and cancellations for accurate information dissemination. So nung nag-start yung pandemic, of course, we are the one, as later ko na i-discuss yun sa operations during pandemic. Okay pa naman po ako, anyone? Okay naman yung connection sa inyo?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so number 7. Draft and prepare letters, memoranda, and other office correspondences, including reports and minutes of meetings. So, as officer of the month also, or as tourist receptionist, we are attending various interagency meeting, which is sometimes nire-represent ang head. And of course, kung wala yung, dito kasi sa airport, ang head, yung head dito sa as TFSU, so yun yung unit namin, nire-represent niya si secretary or our regional director. And of course, kapag wala ang unit head, OM or officer of the month naman ang magre-represent. Number 8, assist in the maintenance of an efficient filing system. So it is for office work. And of course, number 9, perform other related tasks as may be assigned. Dito sa other related tasks, this is for kapag may mga international events. So sa ngayon, bumabalik na ulit yung mga international events natin, magkakaroon na ulit tayo ng mga bulk of arrival. So before pandemic, ang na-assist namin is, of course, hosted ng Philippines ang 30th SEA Games. So kami ang nag-assist ng mga ambassadors, delegates, and different VIPs na nag-attend no SEA Games. So we are providing warm welcome reception upon their arrival here at NAIA. And of course, we are also assisting them upon departure. And then ang second one na assist namin for international event is the recent World Travel and Tourism Council. So it is a very successful. This is the very first international event hosted by the Philippines after pandemic. So we assisted like around 650 delegates. It includes secretaries of the Department of Tourism of other countries, tourism attachés, ambassadors, and of course, the CEOs and presidents or chairman of different multi-billionaire companies in the world, like CEO of Carnival Corporation and other cruise line, and of course, other hotels like Marriott International. Okay, so let me show you some of VIP guests that I assisted during my almost 4 years of being a tourism operations assistant and tourist receptionist at DOT NAIA. So, ayan. So, the first picture is si Apple the App. Second picture is si Heart Evangelista. Then si Miss Sharon Cuneta. Of course, the Miss Catriona Gray, the crown holder of Miss Universe 2018. And then of course, Ann Curtis and family, Miss Rabia, Senator Manny Pacquiao, si Boy Abunda, and si Mr. Kevin Kwan. He is the author of I forgot. But it is a very yung book niya and movie, top selling siya all over the world and translated to around 45 ata na languages. Ayan, so ito naman yung some photos that we facilitate and in manning the information counter. So this one, the first picture is I am a project officer for NCR technical visit for the updating of data bank of the FSU or the Tourism Frontline Service Unit. So we visited the Intramuros and then the Binondo. So in-explore namin yan. And then this one naman, this is in Ayala Malls, Manila Bay. So nagman din kami ng information counter ng Department of Tourism NCR. So, eto naman yung group photo. Nag-facilitate kami ng Filipino Brand of Service Excellence Seminar sa Hotel H2O. So, ang mga attendees namin dyan is yung SSO or the Security Screening Officer and the ABSE Group Philippine National Police. Sorry, nasa duty kasi ako. Medyo may mga nagme-message. Kaya tinitingin ako sa cellphone. Okay, so this we are the committee for the last 21st WTTC, Airport Reception and Hospitality Committee. So the first picture, this is our team. And then, okay, this one are the, I think this is the president of Silver Cruise Line. And then this is the Arirang, the international television in South Korea. And then this one is the SEA Games. So ayan, mga bulk of arrivals talaga yung ina-assist namin kapag international events. Kung makikita ninyo dito sa photo na to, hawak namin dyan is welcome lay reception. So sinasabit namin yun sa guests upon their arrival here in Manila. So of course, babatiin namin sila ng mabuhay and welcome to Manila or welcome to the Philippines. So hosting WTTC, we received, of course, the personal commendations of the President and Chairman of WTTC 2022. The hospitality, he said that the hospitality here in Philippines and of course the warm welcome receptions of TFSU is basta super saya nila because hindi daw nila na-experience yun sa other country. So medyo mataas ang expectation ng next for the next event, mataas ang expectation dun sa mag-host, which is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So I think kukunin nila ang Philippines as parang ano ba yun? Parang pagtatanungan nila ang Philippines kung paano naging very successful ang hosting natin. Ayan, so sa qualifications, I am not that familiar because I don't have enough, I mean, hindi ko na na-check with our HR personnel, but of course, basically we need the at least 4 years college graduate or bachelor's degree. And then, of course, civil service eligible. And then for the experience, it is not required naman. So yun lang yung basic na alam ko for the qualifications of being at the Department of Tourism, NCR. Ayan, so let's discuss I will share our operations during pandemic. So number 1, assist in the repatriation flights of different embassies for stranded foreign nationals. I think the first day of lockdown here in Philippines is March 14 or March 15. So as in sobrang hectic ng schedule namin that time. We don't have enough sleep even though we are staying at hotel. So medyo nalibot namin yung hotel sa Resorts World Manila. Like Marriott, 2 weeks kami doon, Hilton Manila, Savoy, and Holiday Inn Express. Medyo nag-tour kami ng different hotels that time kasi konti lang yung bukas na accommodations. So going back, as in punong-puno ang airport by that time nung nag-pandemic dito, and super dami naming ina-assist concern. One for instance is I'm not sure if what is his nationality. Talagang magpapakamatay siya dito sa airport kasi wala na siyang pera, ganyan. And minsan yung embassies din kapag sa sobrang dami hindi na napapagtuunan ng pansin lahat. So buti na lang na-assist namin, pina-assist ni Secretary. Ayun, kinausap yung Emirates Airline. So napasakay naman siya for free. So number 2, assist in the sweeper flights organized by the department and other agencies for locally stranded individuals. So sa sweeper flight, so this is domestic naman. So may inorganize sa Department of Tourism, and then yung iba naman is per LGU na ang pag-organize nila. Andun lang kami for coordination and monitoring na hindi magkaroon ng problem yung mga LSIs natin or locally stranded individuals upon their departure here at NAIA. Kasi super crowded talaga dito. And for the first week ng pandemic, 'di ba, hindi naman natin inaasahan. So kahit nag-assist kami minsan, mga first 2 days or 3 days, wala kaming face mask, wala kaming gloves. I think it's about a month before kami magkaroon ng PPEs. Number 3, ayan, organize and distribute DOT care kits to stranded foreign and domestic tourists. So, nag-organize kami ng mga care kits. Ano ba ang laman ng DOT care kits? Meron siyang bottled water or light snacks, may biscuit siya, and then alcohol and sanitary wipes. So, that's the yun yung laman ng care kits natin. So, dinidistribute namin siya sa lahat ng nandito sa airport ng mga stranded. As in, super, yung experience na yun is very first time sa amin dito sa airport yun. Kasi natutulog na sa hallway ng airport yung iba. And then sa upuan. Let's go to number 4. Assist in the management of returning overseas Filipinos. Ayan, dito naman sa management of returning overseas Filipinos, this is an subtask group of interagency task force composed of course, the first one is Department of Tourism. It is headed by the Philippine Coast Guard, and then next one is OWA, or the Overseas Worker Welfare Administration, and then the SWD and other agencies. So, ang ginagawa namin dyan, we are verifying the quarantine facilities of the arriving non-OFWs and foreign nationals. So, bakit ba kailangang i-verify natin ang quarantine facilities ng mga arriving non-OFWs and foreign nationals? Kasi we need to make sure that the hotels that they booked is an accredited quarantine facility, because not all hotels applied for that. So we have 2 classifications for quarantine facility. The first one is the mandatory quarantine, that's for all arriving passengers, and then the next one is for stringent quarantine. So ano ba yung sa stringent quarantine natin is yung mga nagpa-positive na guest. So ayun, mga na-assist din namin yan sa hundreds of thousands na assist namin. Thankfully, never naman ako nag-positive that time. So number 6, assist and monitor guests for relocation of quarantine facility. Before maka-transfer ang isang guest, halimbawa naka-check-in na siya sa Sogo. Of course, very mabenta ang Sogo kasi so clean, so good daw. Usually, kapag talaga hinahanap nila is, okay, so number 7 na lang natin i-discuss. Kapag hindi nila nagustuhan ang Sogo, tatawag sila kahit anytime once nag-check-in sila and magpapalipat ng quarantine facility. So, kailangan din ng approval namin yun bago makatransfer sa ibang facility. Okay, so number 7, we are assisting guests or passengers and in hotel booking. So sometimes kasi may mga nag-a-arrive pa din na walang hotel. So we are recommending hotels in Metro Manila I share ko lang na yung quarantine natin is yung mga arriving passengers natin, they are only allowed to do quarantine here at Metro Manila to avoid para hindi kumalat and para mabilis din silang ma-extract ng Bureau of Quarantine and so that they can monitor the guests. So sa hotel booking is, of course, tinatanong muna natin yung budget ng mga passenger, kung magkano ba yung range ng budget nila. Mostly kasi ang nag-arrive is, pinipili nila is yung the most affordable one. Like Sogo Hotel, Eurotel, it only it depends to the room. It will cost around 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, and 1,800. So parang hindi ko ata naisama yung we are also assessing guests who doesn't have the capacity to pay for their own quarantine facility. So we are the one endorsing them to Upland Kalinga. So Upland Kalinga is designated for to non-OFW since ang OFWs ay cater siya ng OWA. They also have the free hotel. So may ang operate during pandemic. Kami ako na yun i-tackle. Sure of papupunta sa advantage. Pero sige, i-tackle ko na dito sa operations during pandemic. So verify quarantine. They're overlapping. Sometimes there will be 3 to 5 flights simultaneously. Then we will have a long queue in our desk. So they are very tired to their travel and hindi nila may iwasan ng sigawan kami. As in talagang may nagmumura, may magsasabi sa'yo na ridiculous, ganyan. Pero mas okay na kasi tag-English yung mga mura nila. So medyo hindi masakit. Ang masakit talaga is kapag yung Filipinos na yung nagsabi sa amin ng comments nila doon sa process kasi hindi naman talaga may iwasan. Pero ngayon, much better na yung process upon arrival dito sa NAIA since maluwag na yung travel restrictions ng Philippines. Doon naman sa pag-assess namin ng Upland Kalinga, na-experience namin dyan yung mga guests na I'm not sure kung nagpapanggap pero minsan talaga may mga nagpapanggap na wala daw silang pambayad. Sometimes very limited talaga yung rooms for Upland Kalinga. Yung iba magsasabi wala daw silang pambayad pero pag na-interview na namin, sasabihin, siyempre itatanong namin kung saan sila nakatira. Minsan masasabi nila na meron pala silang condo sa sa Salcedo Village sa Makati, which is very mahal ang pagtira doon. So ayun, nasisigawan din kami doon, especially kapag hindi accredited yung hotel nila, sa amin sila magrereklamo wherein we are not responsible naman since they are the one who booked for that hotel. So we will of course email or we will call the hotels or the OTAs or the online travel agencies like trip.com, booking.com, agoda.com. Lahat kasi ng hotel dyan is nandun even though they are not accredited quarantine facility. Yung ibang guests, akala nila lahat ng nandun accredited na quarantine. So kaya doon nagkakaproblema. So sa amin nila binubuhos yung galit. Okay, so these are some photos during our operations during pandemic. So the first one, this is in the departure lobby of NAIA Terminal 1. I think this is around 1 a.m., around 1 in the morning, first week of March, first week of pandemic, lockdown. So we gave the DOT care kits. So this one, kahit nakapunta na ako ng hotel para magpahinga, minsan may mga tatawag na kailangan ng tulong. So papaservice ulit kami pabalik ng airport para i-help sila like for booking a ticket. So that time, March to April and May, super taas talaga ng flight ticket. Kaya kahit sa foreigner sila sabihin, kasi pag Filipinos, kapag sinabi ng foreigner, may kaya kasi dollar daw yan. Talagang USA, it will cost you around one way yun na one way for one person, it will cost you 100 to 200,000 maximum. So it depends, of course, to the airline. And then ito, distribute kami ng DOT Care Kit sa NAIA Terminal 2. Mga LSI naman to yung mga domestic tourists natin. And then this one in the middle with repatriated, stranded domestic tourists via Cebu Pacific. So this is organized by the department. So these are the flight FAs and super thankful ng mga sakay niyan because finally they will be coming home. So ayun. Sorry, hindi pa pala. So this one naman sa aircraft ng Platinum Aviation. So this is not it's in the NAIA complex but not this is just a hangar. So this is a private jet. Nag-a-assist din kami diyan. And then this is a repatriation of I think it's Canadian Embassy or Swiss Embassy. So nag-help din kami sa check-in counters para ma-verify yung names nila kung included ba as repatriated foreigners. Ito naman yung naka-red ako. Ito yung temporary help desk namin dyan nung pag nag-verify ng quarantine facility. Ang kulit naman. So ayun. Iba-ibang guests yung ma-handle natin. Minsan may super bait, maunawaan nila yung process dito sa NAIA or dito sa Philippines. Yung iba naman talagang super magre-reklamo. And then this one naman, so this is from ABS-CBN. After namin itong maghatid magsundo sa pier via Tugo. So this is from Region 4, Department of Tourism Region 4B organized. Then sinalo ng DOT-NCR. This is from Palawan. So pagdating namin dito may media. So yung supervisor namin ata yung in-interview. And then nakatalikod niyan si Jackie Manabat by that time. Pero nung napicturean na ako, tumingin na pala siya. Kaya medyo natawa kami nung nakita namin yung photo. Kasi nahiya din kami minsan magpa-picture sa mga celebrity. Okay naman. Okay pa din naman po yung dating sa inyo. Hello?
Yes po sir, clear po.
Okay, thank you. Ayan, so let's proceed to advantages and disadvantages in working as a tourist receptionist at NAIA. So advantages, we have the freedom to kung kailan namin, for example, I want a vacation from Manila going to Iloilo or in Marinduque, I want to be with my family, I can request for a maximum of 11 days off. So possible siya. Then, but if 2 months and pagsasamahin ko lahat ng off ko at magli-leave ako, 20 days maximum. So yun yung pinakamataas kong na-request for a leave. Ang advantages pa, of course, very fun ng environment dito sa airport. Hindi ka lang office work, hindi lang admin yung matututunan mo, but of course, you will know or you will know how to handle different people from different countries. You will know how to handle different situations or problems. So, ayun, kung paano kayo mag-interact sa VIPs ninyo, lahat yun matututunan mo. For the disadvantage naman, I'm not sure if this is a disadvantage because if you have the passion for your work, you will not treat that as disadvantage. So sometimes the usual working hours of um working in the government is 9 hours, including 1 hour break time. But here in the airport, during pandemic, we are working 24 hours sometimes. And then, nung medyo marami pa kami kasi since nag-pandemic, may mga nag-resign kasi medyo nag-fear sila na baka mag-positive sa COVID. Kaya maraming nabawas sa amin. And yung iba, nalipat ng main office. So, pasok kami minsan ng 8 a.m., uwi kami ng 2 a.m. So kahit sabihin natin naka 5-star hotel tayo during pandemic, hindi namin masulit yung hotel kasi nga sometimes 3 hours lang yung tulog. And of course dun sa extended working hours na yun, it's a OTPY. We are not claiming for overtime pay. So, ayun lang, yung nakita kong disadvantage kasi very, in our unit, very generous talaga sa bawat isa. So, ayun, advantages and disadvantages. Career advice. For the career advice, just pursue your passion. Kung gusto nyo maging flight attendant or gusto nyo maging guest services in a hotel or a tourist receptionist also, just pursue it because even though you fail, that will serve as your stepping stone to pursue your passion. And then the next one, don't forget to live your life well. If ever that you already have your work, you need to balance and enjoy and to have a personal life. You need to set aside some days for you to relax and unwind because that's the way on how you treat yourself in working. And then the last one, don't let go of your dreams. So don't let go of your dreams. Sometimes in finding a job, panghihinaan ka na ng loob. Actually, na-experience ko yan when nag-a-apply pa lang ako. If I'm not mistaken, our graduation is on May 11, 2018. And I only rest for around 3 days or 5 days. Then I go to Manila to find a job. Of course, sabi nila mataas daw ang sahod sa being a call center agent. So that's my first prospect to be in a BPO industry. So nag-apply ako and of course I failed for multiple times also. Then I have been hired as a customer service in Alorica. So I stayed there for I think around 2 to 3 months because I think it's not for me. And luckily, I received the call from Department of Tourism and ayun. So for now, almost 4 years na ako dito. So yun lang yung maipapayo ko for your for the career advice. Don't let go of your dreams because everything happens for a reason. I hope sa maikling presentation ko is may napulot kayong aral. Sorry, parang baka medyo sobrang ikli talaga ng presentation ko. But I hope, ayan, so may natutunan kayo and may nakuhang aral sa presentation ko. So that's all. Thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Karen. And of course, to Ma'am Palma and to the organizer of this event for having me as your resource speaker for today. Ayun. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert Vivado, for for your talk po. And ayan po, nalaman po natin yung some of the duties and responsibilities as a tourist receptionist. We assist guests, visitors, mga VIPs, mga officials. Although kahit naapektuhan po tayo ng pandemic, at least ngayon po, it's a good news na dumarami ulit yung ating mga arrivals, yung ating mga departures po. And nakakatuwa naman po na nagbigay po si Sir Privado ng career advice, which is yung pursue yung our passion kahit may mga hindrances na dumarating. Don't let go yung our dreams po. Yan. Ikaw ba, partner?
So sa akin, ang takeaway ko, sir, is marami. And I hope our tourism students were inspired with all the experiences of Mr. Privado in his workplace to pursue and be passionate about what and where they want to be in the future. Sabi nga ni Sir, don't let go of your dream, pursue your passion, because if it's not for you, yung dream na pinupursu mo, God will make a way to redirect you to where you belong best. So, kung wala mo yung decision ni Lord or yung tadhana para sa'yo, don't let go of your dreams. So, yun lang for me. At this juncture, we shall now open the floor for the open forum. Participants who want to ask their question may chat their questions in the Zoom chat or raise their hands and wait for the facilitators to call you. So guys, you can put na your questions in our Zoom chat or raise your hands. Do you have any questions po for Mr. Privado?
Guys, huwag po kayong mahiya. Free lang po na magtanong. Ayun. Magtanong lang po kayo. I have 2 hours for your questions, so don't be shy.
So sir, ako po may question po. Yung nasabi niyo po kanina about PPEs po, how did you handle po working without PPEs po for the first month po, yung hindi po agad kayo nabigyan ng PPEs po?
For the first month na wala kaming PPEs, of course, wala din kaming face mask that time. But what we do is, of course, double the dosage of our vitamins. And then the next one, before we go to work, of course, we take a bath. And after work, once we are already at the hotel, again, we take a bath and before we sleep. Then during work, I think it's every hour, every 2 hours, we wash our hands. So yun po yung ginawa namin that time. Questions pa po?
Do you have any questions pa po for Mr. Privado, guys? Okay po, dahil wala pa po nag-ask ng questions, maybe call on Miss Karen Rasa po for a message. Ayun po. Ayun po. Hello po, Ma'am Rasa.
Ayan, okay. Sige. Okay na. Ayan, so good afternoon ulit. Nandito na naman ako. May ads na naman ako palagi sa mga speakers. I can't help dahil ito naman ay talagang mga students natin dati and I was able to be with them for years at nakakatuwa. Simula kaninang umaga kay Zelda, kay Mr. Moreno, then kay Mr. Paras, and then kay Mr. Privado. So I can't help but admire them. Alam mo yung nakikita ko na yung mga experiences nila sa industry, kung paano sila hinubog ng industry, and especially yung characters nila. No? So yung kwento ni Mr. Privado, 3 days pa lang nag-apply na siya, and then yung mga failures niya, hindi siya nahiya na i-share yung failures dahil kasama naman talaga yun sa sa journey. And akalain ba natin now 4 years na siya doon sa DOT. No? At kasama na natin siya ngayon. Naririnig na natin yung mga learnings niya, na kikilala na natin yung DOT, no? At yung mga roles nila doon. At ang kagandahan nito, aside from sa mga tourism establishments na magusto natin, like sa ground or sa airport or sa hotel, ibang perspective naman ito, yung sa Municipal Tourism Office kay Mr. Paras at sa Tourism Receptionist dito kay Mr. Privado. At salamat ulit Mr. Privado sa pagbigay ng oras mo sa amin, sa mga bata, para makapag-share ng mga natutunan mo, yung mga expertise mo at saka yung mga experiences mo. At welcome pala ulit kay Miss Zelda. So mamaya makakausap ulit natin si Miss Zelda para doon sa mga naiwan natin kaninang umaga. So again, salamat Mr. Privado, at hopefully, nasabi ko palagi, sana hindi ito yung last na time na makakasama namin kayo at makakapag-share kayo sa BSTM.
Thank you po, Ma'am
Welcome po,
Rasa.
ma'am.
Sir Privado, meron na po question from Zoom chat po from Mr. Gabriel Adato. Sir, good afternoon. Sir Gab from MSc Tourism Faculty. What is your tips for a fresh graduate na magtatrabaho straight to our industry?
Ayan, so tips, ano nga bang tips natin sa mga fresh graduate na magtatrabaho straight to our industry? For the tips, of course, kapag pag fresh graduate tayo, palaging kapag mag-a-apply, itatanong kung may experience na. Wherein fa, kaya nga tayo, di ba, mag-a-apply para magkaroon ng experience. So, the first one that you need to do, of course, is to choose the job that you want. And then after you chose the job, then prepare for it. Know that the job description, the responsibilities, and of course, you need to search for the background of the company, because that will be one of the possible questions that will be na ibibigay ng interviewer sa on the day of your interview. And of course, prepare yourself. So you need to be on casual or corporate attire so that it will represent your personality. So yun po yung tips ko sa fresh grad.
Thank you po, sir.
Sir, may another question po ulit from Miss Jonalyn Arita po. Good afternoon, sir. How did you handle po yung mga complaints ng mga passengers nung nagkaroon ng travel restrictions? Like yung shinare nyo po na may mga rude passengers. Thank you po.
Ayan, so basahin ko lang ulit yung question. So, how did we handle the complaints that we received from the passengers when we have the travel restrictions in the Philippines, like what I have shared about the rude passengers? So, of course, for the first time, kapag mahina ang loob mo, sometimes some of our co-workers, some of my colleagues, talagang umiiyak. May time na umiyak after the duty because hindi kinakaya yung sigaw or mura ng mga passenger. But when times goes on, masasanay ka din. Of course, sa pag-handle ng complaints, we need to we need to give a sympathy to the passenger. Then afterwards, we need to reiterate the travel restrictions here in Philippines. Like for example, kapag nag-complain, bakit super higpit dito sa Pilipinas, bakit daw kailangan accredited pa yung facility na ibubuk nila, sayang daw yung mga binayad nila, ganito, ganyan. So, for example, ganito ang sasabihin ko, yes ma'am, we do understand that talagang sayang po yung nabayad ninyo na pera dyan, pero since before you travel and it's more than a month or a year, it depends to the scenario. It's more than a year that we have the travel restrictions here in the Philippines. Before you flew here, dapat na-check nyo po yung kung ano yung restrictions or kung ano yung mga protocols na kailangan pong sundin ninyo since andito na po kayo sa Philippines. Then matutulungan naman po namin kayo na mag-rebook and mag-refund para sa hotel ninyo. So all throughout the process for a passenger, ina-assist naman po namin sila. So yun yung sample na kung paano namin i-handle yung complaints. Yung isang katrabaho ko, kasi nag-hire kami ng AIO, Airport Information Officer, like 2 months lang na contract. Nung first time na may umiyak, it's not a passenger but umiyak sa harap niya na wala daw siyang pera. Pero syempre galing ibang bansa, diba? Wala daw talaga siyang pera, umiyak siya sa harap. Nung nakaalis na yung passenger, sabi niya sa akin, Sir Gibbs, nakakadurog pala ng puso yung trabaho natin. Sabi niya ganon kasi talagang ang daming pasaherong umiiyak. Yung iba, genuine naman yung iyak. Pero yung iba, parang acting na lang para sa assessment namin, mabigyan ng free na quarantine facility. So, yun. Sana nasagot po yung tanong.
Yeah, thank you po, Mr. Privado. Last one question po from Rodil E.J. May. Good afternoon po, sir. My question is, what was the most unforgettable experience you had at work?
The most unforgettable experience I had at work. Wala. For the experience, I think it's handling the World Travel and Tourism Council 2022 because next to the supervisor or the head of our unit, I am the one managing the staff and monitoring the operation. So kahit medyo sobrang hirap niya, to 2 a.m. ako minsan natutulog. I will only have 3 to 5 hours sleep last April. Kaya talaga, one of the unforgettable moments yun kasi sobrang hirap nung trabaho ko that time na hindi ko rin inaakala. Kaya nung after ilang sessions, kasi di ba may part-time job ako as instructor sa CTHI. After how many sessions, nag-left na din ako kasi hindi ko inaasahan na ako ang magmamanage ng staff and schedule like operations ng unit. Sometimes for a day, we have around 100 arrivals. I am the one coordinating with transportation committee for the liaison officers. As in, sobrang hirap. Pero in the end, naging successful naman. So yun yung unforgettable experience na while working here at the airport.
Ayan po, thank you very much sa mga participants po na nag-ask ng questions and of course to our dear speaker for accommodating all the questions of our students. At this point, we shall now award the certificate of appreciation to our esteemed speaker. May we call on Mr. Gabriel Adato, BST ang faculty, to read the citation.
So hello, good afternoon, Sir Gilbert Privado. Again, warm greetings from Marinduque State College faculty. So, marami po kaming natutunan para rin akong estudyante ngayon na nakikinig lang sa aking professor. So, it's been nice na meron po kaming personally nakilala na nag-speak sa atin ngayong afternoon para sa ating mga estudyante na from our aviation industry. So, from Marinduque State College din ata si Sir. Tama ba, Sir? Graduate? Yes. So, thank you po for sharing. Yes po. Thank you po for sharing your knowledge and experience sa ating mga students. Lalo po silang may inspire na makapagtrabaho lalo na sa aviation industry. Alam ko naman na yan ang gusto nila. Kahit ako personally, my goal is to be in the aviation industry. Pero unfortunately, hindi po aking future, hindi pa po yun ang aking nakakamit. So moving on to our certificate is so ayan. So for his valuable contribution as speaker during the webinar with the theme Gear Up Equipping Future Tourism and Hospitality Professionals, given this day of 21st of May 2022 via virtual platform. So signed by Event Class Overall Committee Head by Miss Jonlyn O. Erta, and also Miss Glynis Karen N. Rasa, Program Chairperson of BSTM, and also to support our webinar today, Associate Dean Dr. Mary Rose Palma, our Associate Dean. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Mr. Gilbert Privado. Thank you, sir, and good luck po on your future careers. Thank you po for having you today for our webinar. Thank you po.
You're welcome po.
Again, our deepest gratitude to Mr. Gilbert Privado. Thank you po, sir, for being here with us today.
So now, may I call on the technical if okay na po yung intermission.